One of the things I really like about the Sony A7 III, which is what I'm filming on right now, is that you could use it as an APS-C camera in Super 35 mode, which means it works with APS-C lenses also. Let's have some fun today. What's going on, everybody? Tell me everything, man here. I started off my week this week heading to my local camera store, which is Unique Photo, which is a great camera store. And my original intentions were to go there and pick up a stabilized Sony lens with OSS, which stands for Optical Steady Shot. It just means that the lens itself has image stabilization. Now, I already knew going in that I was interested in one of two lenses, either the Sony 16-35 f4, which is a full frame lens, or the much smaller, lighter, cheaper, slightly wider APS-C 10-18mm, which is also an f4. Now, when you go with a crop sensor lens on the Sony A7 III or other Sony full frame cameras like the A9, the A7R III, etc., what happens is the camera will switch into Super 35 mode, which basically turns your full frame Sony A7 III into an APS-C camera. It has the same exact crop of 1.5, which is the same crop as the new Sony A6400. So it's not really a 10-18. I don't know why the hell they do this. So really this lens is a 15-27 because of the 1.5 crop, which is still really nice and wide, especially for vlogging. So I briefly tried out these lenses inside Unique Photo on my Sony A7 III, and the image stabilization was pretty much the same. All right, so right now we're on a 10-18. I don't know how stable it looks, but I'm holding it pretty still. Not right there, and let's see, kind of. Just do a quick walking test. All right, so this is the 16-35 f4 with OSS. This is a lot heavier than the 10-18, so I think I'm gonna go with the 10-18. And that's 15, so it's actually wider. The image quality, pretty much the same, just a little bit sharper with the full frame lens than it was with the crop sensor lens, but nothing mind-blowing. Long story short, given the price difference, given the size and weight difference, and being that the lens was actually 1mm wider at 15 compared to 16, I went with the 10-18mm. And I actually scored a mint condition used one. I scoped the hell out of this thing for like 15 minutes. I tried it out. $650 as opposed to like what, $850 or something for brand new. So saved myself $200. The lens works perfectly fine. It's in great shape. Shout out to whoever owned it before me. You did good by me, kid. You did good by me. Then I started wondering what would be the point, being that I already own a full frame Sony camera, what would be the point of me picking up an APS-C camera like an A6500 or an A6400 when I could just use my full frame camera as both a full frame and APS-C camera? Yeah, it's smaller, it's lighter, it's more compact, it's more portable, but it wasn't a huge difference. It's not like we're talking the difference between a GoPro and a Canon 1DX Mark II. The A7 III is already pretty small, compact, and lightweight for a full frame camera. So it is a difference, but it's not huge. Maybe just as a secondary camera, maybe the flip screen adds a little more interest, sure, but it still wasn't enough to justify the purchase. So I bought one.
Oops, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good.
Like ruin the shot.
No, you're fine.
You just need you to sign that.
Thanks, nice talking to you. I got a serious spending problem here, people. I went in for the 10-18. I came out with the 10-18 and the A6400. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I got the RX2 coming. What the hell am I shooting? Movies here? What do I need 18 cameras for? We got a 2.5 foot smart car right here. Look at these guys. Do any people own a smart car? If any of you guys do own a smart car out there that are watching this, please let me know about it. Let me know What kind of smart car? What color is it? Did it hurt when they chopped off? I'm sorry, I can't get used to it. Look at this ridiculous thing. I had to find out for myself if there was a difference. I had to find out for myself if I could enjoy myself having a secondary APS-C camera when I love using my A7 III. Would I even put it to use? Would it just sit on the shelf and collect dust? So I picked it up and we're gonna run a few tests here. Both cameras using the same lens, which is the 10 to 18 mil, and I wanted the Sony A7 III to be in Super 35 mode, APS-C mode, the entire time with every test, which it would have had to been to use that APS-C lens, or else you would have just seen a big black border around your shot. So both cameras are acting as if they were an APS-C camera. I wanted to see how well the color science matched up. You know, Sony released a new color science, what was it, end of 2017 or beginning of 2018, which I think is really nice, which is what you're seeing right here. Slightly tweaked a little. I also wanted to test out S-Log2, Cine 4, and HLG3 and just see how they compare with one another coming from each camera, since both have both options. I also wanted to see which one, if either, had better image quality over the other. Remember, using the 1.5 crop, so you're not using the full frame sensor anymore. So should image quality be any different? Should it be pretty much exactly the same, especially using the same lens with all the same settings? I guess we'll find out. And I was also interested in testing out both low light and image stabilization in a handheld vlogging test. Now let's get into it. First was image quality. Let's compare Sony's native color science, also S-Log2, Cine 4, and HLG3. Alright, next up is the low light capabilities. Let's see if there's any difference. Alright, so this is the A7 III with the 10 to 18, and the way we're going to do this low light test is I'm just leaving it on aperture priority, and we're at f4. So the shutter speed and ISO are on full auto, and the reason why I'm doing that is because we are in a really dark situation. It might be translating different to video, but I am in the living room right now. There is no light on whatsoever in the living room, and all I have is a very dim, very goldy, yellowish light over in the dining room. So that's the only light source we're getting. Now let's test out the same situation with the A6400. Alright, same deal, same lighting situation, Sony A6400. You guys see any difference? So this is how it looks straight out of the camera, and now I'm just going to level up the exposure a little bit in post right now. Super noisy. So I don't know if this test did anything for you, but there you go. Alright, finally, the image stabilization test.
Let it amaze me, head to the page. Swearing I'm hearing this chatter that people be talking, I swear. Switching my lanes, living too fast. Forgive him for living his life as a prison, so many you crash. When I feel like I'm dead, not alive, then I feel right, I bled from my eyes. Maybe a tragedy, call me your majesty. Ain't no one bad as me, aggy like Agassi. Lacking, you slacking, ain't no one can test me. I'm black and I'm black and I'm blacker than Wesley. My flow is amazing, your flow is just average. I'm feeling established, your life go savage. Decent on beats, ain't no time for the peace. For the least, from deceased, it was known in the streets. Darkness is relevant, look at the president. Maybe it's negligent, maybe it's evident. I just be knowing that people be showing their colors in this cause their color is black. I just be knowing that people be showing their colors in this cause their colors is black. Once upon a time we used to sit and write a rhyme about the time when we were shining, say the things that's on our mind. Once upon a time we used to sit and write a rhyme about the time when we were shining, say the things that's on our mind. Take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time.
Color science pretty much matched up perfectly between both cameras, but the A7 III, the footage just looked slightly more crisp, slightly more sharp, slightly more tight. The A7 III didn't exactly blow away the A6400 in any category. And even the image stabilization, I felt like it was slightly, just slightly, because that, again, the A7 III, the IBIS inside there, it's very unimpressive. It literally is almost just like not having it at all anyway, so it was just a little bit better on the A7 III. I think the A6400, in my opinion, makes a good A camera, but a great B camera. If you own a Sony A6400, join the conversation below, tell me how you like it. If you own a Sony full frame camera but use APS-C lenses on it, also join the conversation below. Tell me your experience with it and let me know what lens you use. We're gonna start wrapping up these ends of the videos and all these directions that I'm giving you a little quicker. So Instagram, it's right here. If the video was cool, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please do so. I'd appreciate it highly. Until next time, this is your boy. This is your man, Tem the Everything Man, signing out. Thank you for watching. Salute.
Raise your hands up. Raise them out.